I really don't know how to use this radio very much without the computer on, man. Let's fire this thing up. Monitor first. Okay. Wait for the monitor to come on. Alright. Now, let's see. The 30 seconds. Start. Let's see how long it takes. What in the hell? Why did the CD drive just open? That's wacky. Looks like something's wrong. 16 gigabytes RAM. Yeah, all settings were reset to default values. Press F1 to run. Okay. Oh, you know what it is? It was on, I think, when I shut the power off. Let's try this. Okay. What in the hell is going on here? Alright, so from about now on out, it should take about 30 seconds. But this thing has went wacky. It keeps spitting the DVD player tray out. I don't think it was on when I killed the power. Oh boy. I just wanted to use the damn radio. Uh-oh, I heard my air compressor kick on. Okay. Let's go here and let's see if this doesn't work also. I've been having issues with the Omni rig. And there's such limited room here. It's hard to maneuver the mouse. 3906. It picked a completely different frequency this time, which is interesting. I can't stand those guys on 3916, man. They're just like so wide and bleeding all over the damn place. And the one guy, Pete, just tries to act like some radio broadcast superstar. He's very arrogant, if you ask me. I mean, he's a nice guy, but I can't listen to him, man. He just drives me nuts. It's like, sorry, dude, you're not really that important, and your trivia and all that stuff is just whatever. He thinks he's special. He gets on a couple different frequencies and does trivia thing, and then makes funny voices and pretends to be some fat lady named Large Marge. But anyway, I don't know who started 3916 nets, and you guys don't own the frequency, but you decided you do because you have a Facebook group called 3916, and they're like the only one that I see that will never ever move either. Like, they will refuse to move from the frequency. Like, they will not. They'll just talk over you. You don't usually see it happen, but I've seen it happen. They just won't move. They will not budge for nothing. And they don't care if somebody else was already there. Most of the guys on there are not even aware of this. They don't even know that they're partaking in this kind of crap. But we don't own the frequencies on the band. In fact, we're lucky we're even allowed to use them. Especially like the way that people act. It's like surprising that the FCC hasn't just done something with all the bands, because if they were worth anything, they would have already done that. Like, the military might be interested in some of our frequencies for HF, but in general, like, nobody wants these frequencies. They were deemed like unusable a long time ago. And so the government had no interest in them. But yeah, if they could, they would sell off all the frequencies because of the way people act. And it's really sad when a group of people think that they're entitled to operate on a certain frequency, no matter what the situation is. I mean, a bunch of people on the Triple H net on 7190, and they think they own that frequency too. Not all of them, but there's certain ones. It's usually they get a new guy, and like this idiot named Bill, who would get on there and talk, and it sounded like he had a Roger beep because he couldn't afford to set up his own radio station, so he was using somebody else's remote station, which is fine, but use one that doesn't sound like a Roger beep, or fix your computer that you're using to talk on. And I felt like I was either listening to CB radio or somebody on some kind of Motorola with a tail. But these kind of people, like, they got mental health issues, man, and there's just something's not right upstairs, and they just get like completely like twisted up over little trivial things, and they own the frequency. I heard this guy tell these people, "You can't be on here." The guy in Italy was on there before they started their net. "You can't be on here. We have a net here, and this net's been going on since 1976." And I mean, the guy was at least nice, but I mean, like, he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." But it's like, who the hell are you to tell somebody that's DX that they can't call here or work stations? And the guy was working stations on 7190, and they chased him off. They didn't ask. They told him. They were really rude about it. They didn't, like, ask and then explain. And then they, like, straight out said, like, "You need to move. This is our frequency. We've been on here since 1976. And we meet here every night. You need a QSY. And not, could you please, or anything like that." I think that guy has since disappeared, just kind of like they all do. They all gung-ho and then they disappear. Kind of like alcoholics and addicts trying to get sober. The gung-ho ones are always the ones that don't last. They don't make it, man. They're like, rah, 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 rah. And they got 20 sponsees, and then next thing you know, 2 years later, they're dead. They overdosed or something. It's that weird mentality. Anyway... remember, we don't own the frequencies, and nobody else does either. And unfortunately, sometimes you're going to be outnumbered, like 3916. You forget it. You're not going to be able to use that frequency. They have little minions that hang out there all day, waiting. The minute somebody calls CQ, they pounce on them. So anyway. But it is what it is. And it doesn't really matter because I can't do anything about it. But it is good to talk about it because not everybody understands it. And maybe some new ham doesn't understand how things happen and why they happen. And, maybe it will explain that, hey, although these are the rules, this is what the people do. Like, when I was a new ham, I refused to get on 80 meters because of the crap that I heard on there. And I didn't get on 80 meters for a long time. And that's just kind of how it was. It was like 80 meters was full of jammers and all sorts of stuff. And it was actually pretty bad back then. But now I think it's actually chilled out a little bit lately. So anyway, that's my Sunday rant. Just playing around with the radio.